subject. Quick subject. A lot of people, quite a lot of discussions at the moment about cries for help. Now, I've already done a video about this, and I thought I would kind of put a bit of a psychology spin on my reply, if you like, or this video. Let's just say this video. My thoughts about the cries for help. And asking questions and not getting answers. This is another thing that I've seen a couple of threads about on forums and also on YouTube. And something actually that Scary Larry did on YouTube. He put a video up about his beliefs and, you know, feedback, I think, on his investigations and everything that he does, you know, and has done over the years. I guess in a way I kind of got the impression it was a little bit of a frustration release video, and I will explain why. Every time I turn on my video cameras and I'm doing a specific session, you know, ghost box, audio recorders, doesn't matter what it is, if I'm doing something that I'm actually waiting for responses for, 99% of the time I will always get fairly clear EVPs, sometimes voices shouting at me down, you know, the microphone or whatever, into the recorder. Help me, help them, you know, help me with this, you know, various different things. Anyway, sort of cries for help. And the other thing is that people are commenting about is asking questions and not getting answers. Okay, I'm going to treat those two things sort of, you know, separately in this video. I don't want to waffle on too much. But the cries for help, in a way, I've always had them. Always. People have always said, people, as I mean in spirits, or the communication that comes through is always help me, you know, help them, help so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. Can you help me? I need help. As I say, I've mentioned this in another video. Psychologically, and no matter what anyone likes to think, psychology comes into pretty much everything. We're human. We're built up of psychology. So therefore, psychology is part of our nature. It's part of our existence. It is part of everything that we do. Our behaviour, our responses, our communication. Excuse me. So you can't get away from it. People like me, people like Paranormal and various other people, specifically like to research and explore and come up with explanations about, you know, behavioural patterns and why people do things and why things happen and why responses, you know, why people react in a certain way when something happens and all of that kind of thing. You know, it's dissecting the psychological side of behaviour. And other people don't, when they're, you know, other people as in paranormalers, they don't understand psychology, they don't want anything to do with it, they, you know, they think it's a load of hocus pocus, whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So, you know, I'm just saying that that's the two sides of the coin. The discussion that I find on YouTube and things like Facebook and forums and websites and stuff like that tends to focus around, you know, why do they keep asking? Why do people keep, you know, why do these spirits keep asking for help? What can we do to help them? Why are they asking us? We're only humans, you know, we're only humans. Which I find quite interesting. Like these spirits were never human, or the ones that we're speaking to maybe. It's quite strange. I know there's different levels of spirit entities and such like, but, you know, I I can't imagine a demon or an angel asking for help. Realistically, I mean, they've got their own hierarchy of levels. They certainly don't need a human's help. So the people that are, or the spirits, the entities that are asking for help, in my view, I think were probably human. How can I say this? You know, in the work that I do on the psychology side, people are always asking for help. They want help with this, they want help with money, they want help with relationships, they want help with their life, they want help with their health, they want help, you know, whatever it is. People always want help. And you know what? Most of the people who ask for help don't actually really want your help. If that makes sense, then you know what I'm talking about. I come across it day in, day out. You know, people say, I need help with this, I need help with that. They don't really want you to help them. Okay? Let's get that clear. They are cries for help. Just because they're spirits or entities doesn't mean to say that their psychology has changed in their requests for help. Unless you specifically know what they want help with, and I'm kind of guessing, like me, I'm always asking, what do you need help with? How can I help you? And you don't get a response. This happens in the real world. I don't get a response. You just move on. You just kind of know that that person is just, you know, the human is, you know, asking for help, seeking attention. Generally speaking, that tends to be what it is. Cries for help, someone seeking attention. You know, it's pretty rare that most suicide victims or suicidal people, you know, very often their cries for help are quite shallow, what I just call, you know, quite shallow, because they don't really want your help. What is it people want then? And I'll let you think about that for a few seconds. If they ask for help, but they don't want us to help them, what do they want? Okay, enough time. My view, and what comes out of my training over the years in psychology, most of the time, and I'm probably oversimplifying this a little bit, most of the time people want options. Cries for help are usually an indication that somebody doesn't feel like they have options. You've heard the expression being backed into a corner. Well, think of that as, you know, if you can imagine yourself being backed into a corner and you're faced with a problem that you think you have, or several problems that you think you have, how many options do you think that person has? Or how many options do you think you have if you're backed into a corner? You can't go very far when you're backed into a corner. Or if you feel like you've been backed into a corner. So in my view, my explanation of this, the cries for help from, you know, humans or the spirit world generally tend to be, and I'm speaking a generalization, generally tend to be a cry for options. They're asking us to give them options. They want us to help them see more options than what they're seeing themselves. Now, on the paranormal side, if that means showing them a light, visualizing a ball of light, or visualizing a path to a ball of light, saying a prayer, guiding them somewhere else, yeah, that's giving somebody options. When somebody cries for help and you tell them, how can I help you? They don't know. Very often these people, and also the spirit world, fall silent because they want you to give them options. I know it sounds crazy. I do this day in, day out. There are methods that you can use to try and get the person who feels they don't have any options to give you an indication of what kind of options do they want, you know. And this is probably one of the reasons why a lot of paranormalers, I think, can't understand the cries for help, and then when they say, you know, how can I help you? What do you want help with? Da 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 da, and they get nothing because, you know. So to them there's very few options, or there's only one option, or they want more options. So I think us as paranormalists just have to be sensitive to where these people could be. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. We don't know whether giving a spirit options helps them out. Most of the time, I don't even know whether me helping someone see more options than they're getting in this physical plane, half the time I don't know whether that's really what they want. But you know what? People figure these things out. Part of the psychologist's role is to help people help themselves. As corny as that sounds, that's exactly what a psychologist is doing. A psychologist is just, if you like, forensically dissecting someone's brain and reading all the forms of communication like body language and voice tone and auditory and, you know, eye accessing cues and all of those things to try and decipher what it is that person's going through and what options that you could mention that could be available to them. Now, it's difficult in the spirit world. When you're dealing with paranormal, we don't have an awful lot to go on. You know, we're talking probably complete strangers, if you like, that are asking for help. You know, we don't know what their options are, but you know, we can just do our best. We can, you know, over the years I've learned there's actually quite a lot of options. You know, there are many situations, you know, that you can apply in the physical plane. Sorry, you can apply in the physical plane, that you can apply in the spirit world as well. How do I know it works? A lot of the time, as Steve Huffer's got records on his videos and several other people, very often these spirits come back and say thank you. Or another spirit will say, so-and-so thanks you for helping them. You know, and it works. It works. You can give a spirit or a person options, and you just have to let them figure it out for themselves. Whether you help them or not, whether I think I help them or not, I don't really know. All I do is facilitate someone or a person or an entity or whoever it is to figure that out for themselves. You know, that's all you can do. You can't tell people what to do. So I hope that that's cleared up that again, maybe a little bit more in depth than I really wanted to go down, but I think sometimes you've got to explain these things to people. Because they get lost. They get lost and caught up in the frustration of, you know, all of these spirits and such like asking for help, and they don't know how to help them. Just help them whichever way you can. Say a simple prayer. If that's what you can offer someone, if that's all you feel you can offer someone, you know, if if you don't feel confident enough to guide someone to the light, or help them in any other way, then just say a prayer. It doesn't have to be a well-known prayer. It could be just some thoughts that you would like to express yourself. I just think we're not just humans. We're not only humans. Words coming from the heart can be very, very powerful. And I don't think a lot of people really realise that. Physical plane or spiritual plane doesn't really make a difference. It can be very powerful. And it can be powerful both ways. Destructive and, the opposite. Constructive. The other question, and I've lost my train of thought now because I was going so deeply into Cries for help. Let me see. The questions, okay, prompted by the video that Scary Larry did. Okay, so we keep asking questions and we don't get the answers. Again, psychology hat on. There is a reason. I know that Scary Larry has also had information about you're not ready to receive, you're not ready to hear the answers to things. I personally haven't had that response. But I have asked questions and I don't get responses. Now that happens all the time. And it kind of, I think, comes down to, if you like, the theme of your session, about what you're doing. I've seen some paranormal work done where, a group of people go to a specific site, they've researched a specific thing, they ask questions about that historic event. Maybe it happened in the past, maybe it was a murder or a death or something, something's happened, and they keep consistently getting answers. They get feedback on pretty much all of their questions. Another guy that I see do some specific stuff, and I can't remember his name, sorry, but his channel is called Live Sci-Fi TV, I think. Again, he does research and sessions on specific things, and he will ask questions around that theme because he knows who he's talking to, or the chances of him talking to the right entity or whatever are going to be a lot higher when you're focused on what the subject is. When we ask random questions to random spirits that just so happen to be passing or happen to be there at the same time that we are doing a session, guess what, people? You're probably not going to get any answers. Now, going back to my analogy of one of my previous videos where I mentioned about going into a room of strangers. Let's say I walk into a room of strangers. They all know that I'm going to be there, maybe. Maybe some of them don't. Maybe some of them have actually only gone there because there's just a group of people. And if I start asking specific but random questions about something, a subject, the likelihood of anyone coming forward and answering those questions to me, who happens to be a complete stranger, going to be pretty much nil. Do you see where I'm going with this? Now, if you are what I call working with certain spirits all the time, okay, certain spirits I've been working with for 30 years. Okay, just like on the human level, on the physical plane, if you have befriended somebody for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, how do you think, how close is that bond between the two of you? It's going to be pretty strong. And it's probably going to be strong enough that either of you could ask questions or share information about something, you know, something maybe really, really sensitive and deep, and not feel like you're going to be betrayed or laughed at. So, or, you know, that information is going to go back to another person or whatever, you know, depends. So what I'm trying to draw a parallel with here is, in the spirit realm, we need to really understand that we are dealing most of the time with intelligent entities. Okay, intelligent spirits, ghosts, entities, whatever you want to call them. Now, getting information from these people, or these spirits, these entities, you can't get it random. It's just not going to happen randomly. You know, like I've said in the previous video before, I believe that spirits are around all the time. You know, if I had my spirit box on now, I've actually done a walk that was about 1.5 miles long, and I did a walk both ways, and I just had my spirit box on and I had my earphones in, and I just invited spirits to come and talk to me while I was walking. And you know what? They did. I walked past some buildings, like, you know, nursing homes, old buildings and stuff like that, and I just had spirits talking to me quite random. I didn't ask anything specific other than if anyone wants to say anything. Most of the time I got hi, hello, and then I got someone that said, it's Mark. So, you know, possibly a spirit that I've spoken to before. So, you know, anyway, I'm digressing. I'm hoping that I can try to help people to understand that asking random questions to random spirits or to whoever you think is there with you at that particular time, you know, if there is anyone there, you're not going to get any real answers, and that's probably one of the reasons why you don't get any answers. Unless you specifically ask to communicate with somebody that you've built up a relationship with, and I'm not the only one that keeps saying this. You know, there's loads of other paranormalists that just keep saying, you know, you give a spirit box, a ghost box to a random person in the street and ask them to go and speak to some spirits. That's probably not going to happen. You know, it just won't happen. So, you know, you have to be patient. You have to build up a relationship like you do in the physical plane. You have to try and work with certain people that want to work with you so that you can build up that confidence. You can build up that trust level. Then you can ask, you know, specific personal questions about something, and you will then start getting replies. That's all I can really say. Doing it random is just not going to work, I'm afraid. You know, when I go to a site and you start asking questions, unless you can kind of pinpoint maybe somebody that is willing to talk to you, communicate with you, at that particular time is probably the only time that you're going to get responses back that make any sense. Go there randomly once and just randomly ask questions. You know, you kind of have to work at it. You have to ask for somebody who's willing to communicate with you, just like I would do going into that room of people. You know, there's going to be people who are going to sit there and not say a thing. There's going to be people who just want to observe what other people are doing. There's people who are going to be intimidated by me specifically going up and asking them a question. So you kind of have to use your skills to try and tease out the person in that group, or the people that are in that group that are open to you asking questions and are willing to, you know, if you go back there again, that you can ask them some more questions. And that way you build up that relationship, you start getting that level of trust, and then that person doesn't feel like they're going to be betrayed or laughed at. You know, I hope that kind of explains a little bit more about the psychological background to asking questions and not getting answers from spirits. I hope it makes sense. And, you know, I'm not picking holes in anyone. I'm not pointing the finger at anyone. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just saying, you know, before you jump the gun and assume that every time you ask questions you don't get an answer, and therefore, you know, there's got to be something wrong. But, you know, there is another answer to it. There is another answer to that, you know, to the reason why that's happening. So, okay, I've blabbered on enough, and thank you very much. If you get to the end of these videos and you find them interesting, then, you know, I look forward to speaking to you again in another video.